called to be good stewards. This is your lot, sabi ng Panginoon. Ito yung buhay na ibibigay ko sa'yo. Now, what are you gonna do about it? And the Lord asks you to become a good steward of your life, of your time, of your talent, your money, your treasure, your talent, I mean your skills, your capabilities. Magaling kang kumanta. Sabi ng Panginoon, sa'yo yan. Ano ngayon ang gagawin mo dyan? Magaling kang mag-drawing. You paint. That's your gift. The Lord gave you that. I wonder what your gifts are. If I had time, I would have asked you, what do you think your gifts are? The Lord gave that to you. You're asked to be a steward of that. Now, what are you gonna do about it? Your treasure belongs to the Lord. And regardless of our circumstance, regardless of the good and the bad that is happening to us, we're called to be good stewards. We're called to do the best we can with our time, our treasure, and our talent. I came from a leadership program called Haggai Training, which is held in Maui. It's given to Christian leaders. And the one who is in charge of that entire institution is Dr. John Edmund Haggai. And Dr. Haggai defined Christian stewardship in one of his talks. And he defined it as this. Can you read it with me together? Christian stewardship is the practice of systematic and proportionate giving time, everything that we have is a trust from God. And stewardship is the practice of, I highlighted this, systematic and proportionate giving of time. Systematic and proportionate means purposeful, planado yung paggamit mo ng iyong resources. Your time, your talent, your treasure. Planado. You're really doing something about it so that it will be used to glorify the Lord. Systematic and proportionate. It's a long story why I retired. It's a long story also how I retired. And I think I've told that story to some of you in some of the previous talks I gave. But let me just share one of the things I did upon retirement. One of the reasons why I retired, by the way, is so that I can serve the Lord with all that I have and be a good father and son a good father to my children and a good husband to my wife. So a good family man. And because of this, I wanted to make sure that I had enough time for the mission and I have enough time for my family. I have enough time for the mission. Ang dami kong mission, brothers and sisters. I give talks left and right. I'm the leader right now of an institution. It's called I'm the president of Institute for Pastoral Development. So it kind of takes a lot of my time. And yet, my family has so much time with me. I have regular dates with my wife, for example. I have one-on-ones with each of my children. They're still young, 9 and 6, and yet I already have one-on-ones with each of them, and they enjoy it. Pagka medyo mahaba-haba yung panahon na hindi kami nakapag one-on-one, sabihin na ako, Papa, one-on-one naman tayo. They enjoy it. And at this early age, we're having good conversations with each other. I have enough time. I'm also a pastoral leader in Ligaya. I have enough time to spend with each of the people I care for. And I have enough time to spend doing evangelism work. So people ask, how are you able to do all of these things? Well, I just make sure that I give each the appropriate time. It's a systematic and proportionate way of giving my time and my talent. And even my treasure. You know, my tithes, for example, systematic yan kung we will talk about tithing later, but part of my tithe go to church, part go to lingkod ng Panginoon, part go to ligaya ng Panginoon, part go to the Institute for Pastoral Development. So even at that, and then I have allocated enough for the education of my children, I have allocated, etc., etc. It's another long story. But the only point I want to make is a systematic and proportionate way of taking care or being in charge of the things that God has put under our care. Clear ba yung stewardship? Klaro naman. Now, let's dig further because there are 4 principles with financial stewardship. Can we read that? The 4 principles. 1. Second. Third. And the 4th is part of our call as disciples. And I underlined here some keywords so you will remember. Belongs, provides, enjoy, and giving. Belongs, provides, enjoy, and giving. Let's tackle them one by one. The first principle, everything belongs to God. I already mentioned this, but let's dig it further. Everything belongs to God. It's also called the divine ownership. Brother, can you read Psalm 24, that part?
The earth belongs to the Lord, and everything in it, in all its fullness, the world and all those who dwell in it.
Thank you. Everything belongs to God. The earth belongs to God. God created everything, and therefore everything belongs to Him. And that includes the things that we usually call our own, like our cell phone belongs to God. Our cars belong to God. Our clothes belong to God. Are you seeing the concept now? And it's important to know that because your perspective will change once you realize that we are stewards of what we have. And everything we have is God's gracious gift to us. Can you turn to the person in your right and can you tell that person, lahat ng ari-arian mo, kay God yan. Now, can I ask you to bring out your wallets kahit walang laman? Can you just bring out your wallets or kahit yung mga nandito na lang? Bring out your wallets. Okay, now, look at the person now to your left and tell that person, yung laman ng wallet mo, pati ATM mo, kay God yan, sabihin mo. Right. I just want it to sink in, brothers and sisters. I want it to sink in. Even the things that we usually call our own, that belongs to the Lord because the earth, and read that again, the earth and everything that's in it, in all its fullness, belongs to the Lord. Thus, therefore, we are merely stewards of everything that we have. Look at the person at your back naman and tell that person, sabihin mo sa kanya, yung laman ng wallet mo, tagabantay ka lang. Are we getting the principle? Are we getting the principle? Everything belongs to God. And you know, if you start to accept this, you will there's going to be a new perspective in how you spend your money. Will you just spend it and waste it away? Or will you spend it to be able to glorify the Lord? Or will you spend it to be able to love your brothers and sisters? It's a totally different perspective once you accept that everything belongs to the Lord. The second perspective, principle number 2, God provides for His disciples. God provides for His disciples. You know, brothers and sisters, we are a children of a Father who provides for our needs. That verse there, Luke 12:27 to 31, that's the verse that says, "Consider the lilies, they neither toil nor spin, yet not even Solomon was arrayed like these." And then, it continues, if that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire. Yung damo, di ba, isang araw tutubo yun, pangalawang araw, wala na siya. O kaya tatagal lang maiksi lang yung life ng grass eh. That's why it keeps on growing and growing. On the other hand, if it grows too long, it gets thrashed right away, di ba? Kung yung grass of the fields mahal ng Panginoon at inaalagaan ng Panginoon, paano pa tayo, who is His favorite creation? Tell the person beside you, bahala kung sa kaliwa o sa kanan. Favorite ka ng Panginoon. Paano ka pa, brothers and sisters? Favorite ka pa ng Panginoon. And then it continues. And do not set your heart on what you will eat or drink. Do not worry about it. All the people in the world are trying to get these things, and your Father knows you need them. But seek God's kingdom, and all the other things you need will be given to you. Seek first the kingdom of God, and everything else will be given to you. The question here is, do you trust the Lord? Do you trust God? The God who is saying that I am going to take care of you. Do you trust God? Now, how does the Lord provide? Okay. The Lord normally, and I highlighted this, through our labors, provides enough for our needs, our basic necessities, and even a surplus for good works. You know, brothers and sisters, ayaw rin naman ng Panginoon na maging one tamad tayo. Alam niyo yung story ni one tamad, di ba? Kaya siya one tamad kasi hinihintay niya lang bumagsak yung apple. Kukunin niya na lang, hindi niya pa gawin. The Lord did not raise us, did not create beautiful things like us. He did not give us the talents that we have para magpakatamad tayo. So how does He provide? Through our labor. In fact, if you read 2 Thessalonians 3 verse 10, it says there, anyone who refuses to work should not eat. Sabi ni Paul kay Timothy, ayaw mong magtrabaho, huwag kang kumain. So how does the Lord provide for you? Through our work, through our labor. And that's how we get blessed. If we do nothing, then nothing will happen to us. But if we use our gifts, then things start happening. Things start progressing in our lives. In fact, yung 1 Timothy dyan, 5 verse 8, ang nakasabi dyan, basahin ko na lang, whoever does not care for his own relatives, especially his own family members, has turned against the faith and is worse than someone who does not believe in God. Kung meron pa sa inyo nagtatanong, kailangan ko bang tumulong sa kapatid kong naghihirap? Kailangan ko bang tulungan yung parents ko na may sakit? Huwag nyo nang tanungin. Ang sagot doon, oo, kailangan nyong tumulong. Kailangan. You know, it's something that the Lord asks